And welcome once more for a Vision pre-patch review of the spells and talents of the classes, or at least the ones that I currently own at the max level. So we're now finishing up the Paladin class with the Retribution specialization. So stay tuned and let's see what it has now. So from the three specs, Retribution is the one that kept the holy power resource management alongside mana. So on the brief preview we have the Avenging Wrath, which you already know. It increases all damage and healing you deal by 35% for 20 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. Bubble, Divine Steed, which is... oh, that's not what I have in here. Oh... So Divine Steed is the steed from the Crusader class from Diablo 3. It's the same. This one is a talent because I've already... oh, it is? No, it's not. This one, the Blade of Justice. Oh, this one is a new one. So it strikes an enemy with the Blade of Justice, dealing damage, and it generates 2 holy power. Blessing of Freedom, it grants immunity to movement impairing effects to a party or raid member. Divine Storm, it consumes 3 holy power and it deals AoE damage, and it no longer heals you. It healed you before if you had the glyph, now it doesn't. Blessing of Protection turns the party or raid friendly member with the immune from physical attacks for 10 seconds. Flash of Light heals you, costs a lot of mana and deals with quite a lot. Cleanse Toxins, it cleanses a friendly target, removing all poison and disease effects. And then we have the Blessings, which are exclusive to the Paladin, and you can only give one of each of the blessings to a friendly member. You can place all 3 of them on him or on a target, but it can only give one of each blessings. So you have a greater Blessing of Kings, which absorbs damage and will be refreshed to full strength every 6 seconds, even if fuel consumed. Blessing of Might, place a blessing on an ally that gives their attacks a 10% chance to deal 30% additional damage as ally. And then we have blessing that causes them to regenerate 1% of maximum health and mana per 15 seconds. I'm seeing Blessing of Wisdom, healers begging for the Blessing of Wisdom, tanks for the Blessing of Kings, and this one will go to the Paladin himself or herself. Crusader Strike, now it has 2 charges, 3-second recharge for each charge, and it generates 1 holy power. Hammer of Justice, the stun, 6 seconds and a 1-minute cooldown with a 10-yard range. We have Hand of Hindrance. I believe this one is new. It places a hand on the enemy target, reducing movement speed by 70% for 10 seconds on a 30-second cooldown, 30-yard range. It's needed slow because before they had the seals, now no one has seals. So that's that. Redemption, your resurrection spell. End of Reckoning, it's a taunt. I don't know why did they keep the taunt, but okay. We have Shield of Vengeance, which it dealt me 150k on an arena that you'll probably see somewhere in the future, or even if it is out already, I don't know. So it creates a barrier of holy light that absorbs 50,000 damage for 15 seconds. When the barrier is consumed, all damage absorbed is dealt as holy damage divided across all enemies. So you can see that I got all the damage, pow, splashed on me. It's on a 2-minute cooldown, and I'm not seeing the use on PvE, but I'm definitely seeing the use on PvP. Somewhat of a karma, like the monks, the Windwalker monks, but I don't know. Then we have Judgment on a 10.5 second cooldown. Judge the target and on one other nearby enemy, dealing AoE damage and causing them to take 26% increased damage taken from your AoE power spender. So this one you don't even, I mean, you will use it because you won't have much more to use, but it increases the damage of your AoE power spenders, aka Tempor's Verdict, and oh, this one is a talent, so more on that later. Tempor's Verdict deals a lot of damage, it requires 3 AoE power. This one is a talent, I'll explain it later. Lay on Hands, it deals a friendly target for an amount equal to your maximum health, you already know this one. Rebuke, the Interrupt. We have Heart of the Crusader, which increases your amount of speed by 20%, and then we have Mastery. So the Mastery does, it increases Judgment damage by 52% and causes Judgment to increase damage taken, from your AoE power spenders by 26%, very well. And then we have Retribution. When any party or raid member within 40 yards dies, you gain 20% increased damage done and 30% reduced damage taken for 20 seconds. What the hell? You should be saving people, not I don't know. it's all about vengeance. It says Retribution, so that's what Retribution is. Oh, and then we have Sword of Light, increase the damage you deal with 200 melee weapons. Okay, so we have the spells explained. There's not, we have a decay dealing his damage here, but you can see how this one plays without the talent. Judgment now has quite long cooldown. It's longer than before. Okay, so this is the basic rotation. Yeah, and that's Divine Storm. Alright, so now onto the talents themselves, shall we? So we have Final Verdict, increase the damage done by Tempor's Verdict by 20% and the damage done by Divine Storm by 10%. No brainer to me. Execution Sentence. Before it didn't cost anything, now it costs 3 Holy Power and it has a 70-second cooldown. But it deals quite a lot of damage for 6 seconds. It is a 20-yard range, although I really don't see this one as good as before. It could be used on a PvE, on a boss. It could be used because it has quite a longer cooldown and it deals a nice amount of damage for the 3 Holy Power. Probably I'll use this one for PvE, this one for PvP. Yes, and it is an AoE power spender, so the damage increases with your judgment. So I mean, even for PvP, even for PvE and PvP, you should use Execution Sentence because it's an instant. It has range. Yeah, you should use Execution Sentence. You should. And then Consecration for when you're dealing with AoE. Final Verdict, I don't know, doesn't seem quite attractive right now. But someone will do the math, but I believe Execution Sentence would be the best for PvE and PvP, and Consecration for AoE fights. So then onto the next tier we have the Fires of Justice, which reduces the cooldown of Crusader Strike by 1 second and gives it a 15% chance to reduce the cost of your next damaging or healing AoE power ability by 1. I believe this is a no-brainer for PvE. for PvE, because you need to constantly be generating holy power, and having 1 second less of its recharge taken, it's quite a big deal. Let's see what this one does. Zeal, it replaces Crusader Strike. It strikes the target for, let's see if the damage changes. Oh, it changes, it deals more damage, and it grants Zeal, causing Zeal attacks to chain to an additional nearby target per stack, maximum 3 stacks. Each jump generates, oh, this one is AoE or cleave, AoE or cleave, that's it. This is Zeal and Consecration, AoE or cleave. When you have to kill, I don't know, that one boss fight at Aigmo, Brackenspore, I believe, where you have that huge head with lots of health, and this one is the cleave talent. Definitely worth it. And now Greater Judgment. Your Judgment ability hits 2 additional nearby enemies and always does a critical strike against targets above 50% health. This is the PvP talent. Yep, PvP talent, and cleave talent, and single target talent. Onto the next tier we have the CC talents. Fist of Justice seems the most appropriate. But on the other specs it was your damage dealing abilities that spend holy power reduce the remaining cooldown. On holy and protection it was the Judgment, and on Retribution it's Fist of Justice. That's abilities that spend holy power. That's kinda shitty. It remains the same. Kinda shitty, but I'm not seeing that the other talents remain the same. Force an enemy target to meditate, incapacitate the target. The damage is probably, it doesn't work on PvP. It has a cast, it has range, and Binding Light is the instant, which causes Disorient for 6 seconds within a 10-yard radius, but it has 1.5 minutes of cooldown. And Fist of Justice, PvE and PvP, unless you have to somehow slow down an ads where you don't have to kill them, then Blinding Light would be the idea, but otherwise it's Fist of Justice. Alright, so on the 60 talent we have Blade of Justice. Critical strikes now deal 3 times normal damage. This is Vicious Blade. It deals a lot of damage. It deals as much damage as Templar's Verdict. And it generates 2 holy power. So the critical strikes would deal quite a lot of damage. And then we have Blade of Wrath, which has a 12-yard range. Strikes an enemy with a Blade of Wrath, dealing holy damage and an additional holy damage over. Okay, so but it deals quite how do I put it? It deals a lot less damage than what it actually does as it is right now, but it has a 12-yard range and it generates holy power. I can see the use on PvP, definitely not on PvP, on PvE, I'm sorry. This one is PvP talent. And then we have Divine Hammer. Divine Hammer spin around you, damaging enemies within 8 yards for holy damage instantly. Holy damage instantly, and every 1.7 seconds for another AoE talent, alongside with Greater Judgment and Consecration. Another AoE talent. This one is a PvP talent, Blade of Wrath. It's range and you generate holy power, so you won't have to keep yourself at melee range, but you can generate holy power, but you deal significant less amount of damage. And this one is for PvE. No point about it. Single target encounters, and this one for AoE. for AoE like 3 or 4 more targets. Alright, so on the 75 level talents we have Justicar's Vengeance. It costs 5 holy power and it's a weapon strike that deals a lot of volley damage, 45,000, Templar's Verdict deals 31,000, and it deals 100% additional damage and healing when used against a stunned target. PvP, it's a PvP talent for sure. Eye for an Eye, reduce a PvP talent for sure, and I'm not sure if it is best used on PvE, but let's take a look at the others. An Eye for an Eye, it reduces physical damage you take by 35% and instantly counterattacks any enemy that strikes you in melee combat for, oh that's a lot of damage, lasts 10 seconds. This one is a PvP talent for sure. Physical damage against rogues, DKs, warriors, everyone, every melee class. It's like that talent from the I don't know how the Die for the Sword, perhaps when you parry, but this one doesn't parry, it strikes back, and it's significant damage, and you take less physical damage. So then we have Word of Glory, heal yourself and up to 5 friendly targets within 50 yards. Whoa, 3 holy power, 1 minute recharge. It's a lot of, oh, that's why the Paladins on my previous arenas healed so much, because they had Word of Glory and they healed a lot. So this one is also a PvP talent. A PvP talent where you can heal, perhaps when you go in twos, and if you're playing with a healer you won't need this one, and perhaps go for Eye for an Eye. For extra damage. All of these talents have utility for PvP. I'm not seeing the utility on PvE because I don't know. Justicar's Vengeance for PvE, Word of Glory depending on the battle. I don't know. It seems kinda. It's weird. It's weird. Going on to the next tier, we have Divine Intervention, reduce your Divine Shield cooldown by 50%, as you can see. In addition, any attack which would kill you instead reduces you to 20% of your maximum health and triggers Divine Shield. Oh, this is yet another talent that the Paladins used on the arenas. It's kind of weird. Okay. Then we have Cavalier, Divine Steel down 2 charges. I believe every the other 2 specs of the Paladin also have this talent, although it is quite at the top of the talent tree and not at the bottom. And then we have Seal of Light. So Seal of Light, what does it do? It consumes 1 to 5 holy power and draws upon your holy energy to increase your movement speed by 20%. For 20 seconds per holy power spent. It's kinda weird. Let's see if this resets. Okay. Whoa, the 2-minute movement speed increase. Perhaps on the. I mean, this one doesn't have much utility on the. For PvE, I would choose Seal of Light. I don't know, or even Divine Steed. I'm not seeing the thing here. If you know that you'll probably die, Divine Intervention will be the best. PvP, that's the way to go. I believe. I'm not seeing anyone choosing any of the others on PvP. And for PvE, man, perhaps Divine Intervention as well. It wins. It's an insta bubble. Yeah, you don't even have to worry about dying, because the bubble will pop up. That's what I choose. Divine Intervention for any of the scenarios. Alright, so final talents. We have Divine Purpose. Your holy power spending abilities have a 20% chance to make your next holy power spending ability free. It's a proc. Not much fun in it. Then we have Crusade, replaces Avenging Wrath. It has a 2-minute cooldown, increases your damage and haste by 3.5% for 20 seconds. Each holy power spent during Crusade increases damage and haste. It's kinda I mean, it increases the damage by 35%, and here it only increases damage and haste. But come on, it's 20 seconds. It's 20 seconds. There's no way I'm going to choose this over the proc. You have to build this one. No way. Holy Wrath deals holy damage to up to 4 enemies within 10 yards, equal to 200% of your missing health. Deals 50% of missing health against enemy players. This one, it has a 3-minute cooldown, so this one is like a touch of karma, no, touch of death. So when you're about to die, you zam, and you have the bubble, so when you bubble, it's probably a melee attack, so let's see. Yo, it does, oh no, it's AoE, okay, within 10 yards. So when the bubble procs, you just bam, and it deals the damage. This one is good for PvP, only PvP where you need to finish someone, but I would choose Divine Purpose for PvE. No way that Crusade is better than the damage you lose right at the beginning. It's awful. I don't think that it's worth it. I believe the proc is a much better choice, and that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I don't know, that you find it somewhat informative about what the Retribution spec is all about, and I hope you have fun playing WoW, and also that you keep checking my videos. So I'll see you later. Goodbye.